A friend of mine told me recently that they were worried that they were turning into their father as they got older. I said, you've got nothing to worry about. My concern is that I'm turning into Victor Meldrew, particularly during this election, because when I see some of the announcements that are being made, particularly by the Labour and Conservative parties, I instinctively say, I don't believe it! I hope that was a good imitation. The fact is that the Labour and Tory parties are paying fast and loose with your money, and they have no intention or capacity of spending most of the money that they're promising. If we look at the Labour proposals, they were described by the Institute for Fiscal Studies as being colossal and undeliverable. Labour then had a go at the Institute for Fiscal Studies for this pronouncement, despite the fact that the IFS was quoted with approval 17 times in the manifesto. They're spending money they haven't got, they're ambitious for raising it, but they're not going to be able to do that, and they haven't costed their plans, particularly in the case of withdrawal from the EU, which we all know will cost us money. On the other hand, the Conservative Party haven't even attempted to cost their plans, and in fact refused to. Recently we had Boris Johnson announcing that they were going to build 40 new hospitals. That mightn't be the best use of the money, but the money isn't there in any case. When you looked at the money, it was to refurbish 6 hospitals and do some planning for a few more. So all through this election, people have been pledging money that they haven't got, which if they did get it, they'd have to get from you. Now I'm sure you'd expect me to say that the Lib Dems are different, and we are, because we've made 2 spending pledges, big ones anyway, and we can tell you exactly where the money is coming from. We believe we need to spend more on healthcare and the National Health Service. And we've made it quite clear that we would raise that £7.5 billion a year by an increase on income tax of 1p, which all of us would pay. That has been checked, is deliverable, and is the right figure. We've also said that over the course of a parliament, which is in theory 5 years, we would have £50 billion a year to spend from what we call the Brexit bonus. That is the amount of money that will be generated in the economy to pay taxes to the tune of 50 billion, which we can spend on education, on transport, on the environment, on a range of services. And again, that amount has been fully costed and agreed by all the independent experts. And any other policy you've got where you can see the Lib Dems saying we're going to spend this to improve the service or to change the service, you will also see next to it a statement about where that money is going to come from and how much it will be. But there's another thing which incredibly makes the Lib Dems unique at this election. We've said we still have to continue paying back some of the debt. Both the other parties have forgotten that need, but you know as well as I do that if you borrow money, you've got to pay it back. And the longer you stop paying it back for, the more the bill comes. So we still believe that it is important to pay back some of the national debt so that future generations, your children and mine, won't be saddled with impossible bills to pay before a single service is provided. We call that fiscal responsibility. It's getting the economy right. It's getting the taxes right, and so that we can afford the services which you want. If you think Jeremy Corbyn or Boris Johnson can really do that, can really find money from nowhere, then you'll not only be able to vote on the 12th of December for Father Christmas, you might as well wait till the real thing happens on the 25th of December. False economics is being promoted to blind you by every party in this election except the Liberal Democrats.